retail stores have come and gone in the past, but the amount of closures and bankruptcies that we're seeing in the last couple of years, it is accelerating at a noticeable clip. Now, Bed Bath & Beyond is the latest retailer that is now filed for bankruptcy and is pretty much about to be shut down. Now, we've had JCPenney in the past, we've had Blockbuster, Toys R Us, Boston Store, Radio Shack has shut down, and many more. Now, the times are just changing. A lot of these specialty stores that we've seen, they've come and gone, and at a certain point, if we look back to the 70s and the 80s, these same stores that we're seeing go right now were the same stores that were putting mom and pop shops out of business. Now, these stores thrived for decades and decades, the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, and even a portion of the 2010s. These were stores that people frequented regularly, that they did the type of business that they needed to do, but the times are changing. Now, these specialty stores are being wiped out because they are still following or have been following an aging business model. Now, there are some retail stores that are still out there that are thriving. Namely, the first two to come to mind is Walmart and Target. And it's not because these stores are necessarily better than some of these specialty stores, but what they did, they followed the consumer and they turned to the website, so turning to the internet. So nowadays, and now there are still a few specialty stores out there that, just for example, Home Depot, Lowe's, Best Buy, where it benefits the consumer to go in. If I'm buying plywood or some type of tool, I might want to go to the actual store and pick it up, then try to have it delivered. There's still certain type of specialty stores that require people to go into, and that part is not changing. But some of these other ones, Toys R Us, for example, Blockbuster, when everything turned to the internet, Netflix came around, we knew that it was going to be an issue for these stores if they did not change their business model. Walmart and Target in specific, Walmart.com, they've invested so much money into the internet portion of things, the delivery portion of things, that they are still able to thrive. Whereas if they didn't do that, maybe 10, 15 years ago and start to follow the trend, they could have been more so in line with some of these stores that were shutting down. Bed Bath & Beyond, the latest retailer that has failed. Bed Bath & Beyond was the place where you went to go to get stuff for your bed, for your bath, and beyond, namely the house. The problem is, I can get all of those same items and a bigger variety of those items, probably even at a cheaper cost, just buying it on Amazon, and that's without leaving my house. Now, there's a luxury that Amazon brings that, these other retailers just couldn't keep up with. There's also an economical portion of this that we have to consider as well. So, the amount of stores that are closed, pretty much with all of them, you see tens of thousands, sometimes closer to hundreds of thousands of jobs that are just lost because these companies go out of business. How does that affect things from an economic standpoint? Now, at any given point, there's enough jobs out there where, people that lose these jobs, they can fill other roles in different industries, and the cycle just keeps on going. People lose jobs all the time. People get new jobs all the time. New industries are born, different areas of importance where people could go work, develop new skills. But we do not want technology to accelerate too quickly to where we kind of forget about people. I've done a video on ChatGPT and, Chat4 and all these things. Technology does serve a purpose, but we do not want it to get too far to the point where, people are just out of business. You have a ruling rich class that just kind of dominates everything. And then the majority of people, that middle class being wiped out, everybody else is poor. The way that it's going about, you want to be careful to where, as right now, there still are jobs, people could just fill other roles, but you do not want the technology and everything to accelerate too quickly to where a lot of jobs just kind of go away. So just something to keep an eye on. You know, a lot of these retail stores, retail apocalypse type of thing where, you know, they're just shutting down. How does it affect the economy? How does it affect the job market? Those are the things that we need to keep an eye on. And even the current business model, the business model where we see now where everything is just kind of turned to the website. Jeff Bezos said it himself, one day Amazon is going to go bankrupt and that business model will be a thing of the past. Now, right now, the retailers that are investing in technology, that are investing in the internet and following the consumer, they are continuing to thrive. But let's see how long this business model goes on before we turn to the next thing. If you like content like this, leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this and hit that thumbs up button for me.